Okay, so I've been learning Blender and I wanted to make this glass basically. One of my school projects, we have to design some thingies. And I just picked up Blender now. And I'm like, well, let's just make a pedestal. And inside this glass, or like, we can call it glass. I think realistically it would be more like acrylic. We can have like an object inside this one, right? What the flip? This object, right? And I'm like, okay, I need to make the glass transparent. But for some reason, it's a lot harder than every other tutorial is. So I found this Reddit post that solved everything for me. But I'm just going to do it again to make sure that I can document it. Because I know for a fact I'm not going to find this anywhere else. So I'm just going to do it myself. So the plan was basically to go here, to make a new material. We can call this material transparent object. And then what they did was they set this transmission value to 1 and the roughness to 0. Next, this emission, I set it to a white color, but honestly I don't think it changes much at all, so I'm just going to leave it at black. Next, this is the important part. This alpha value is what actually is going to adjust the transparency. But apart from the alpha value adjusting the transparency, you need to go down into these settings, and where it says blend mode opaque, you need to set it to alpha blend. And look, you see it just like adjusted very slightly. And you can slightly see through this object into those bricks there, but you can't properly. So if we adjust this alpha value, now it looks a lot more like glass. And I think also another issue is that because it's going through two phases, it's like doubly adjusting it. Another setting that I had to check was this screen space reflection. What is it on here? Show back face. There's still some clipping, which I'm not too sure about, but I'm just gonna keep those on because it is working now. And in terms of settings, because for some reason the Eevee blender isn't the best, so the render engine being Eevee, you need to turn on screen space reflections, refraction, and then any material you want to have transparent or reflective like this, because you see it's slightly reflective, you just need to turn on screen space refraction. What does this do? Oh, you can set how much it refracts by. I guess this would be for like denser glass or whatnot. I'm just going to leave it on 0 for now though. But yeah, so you set your blend mode to alpha blend, your shadow mode to alpha clip, and then you'll be able to get a true, well, not true, but good enough transparent object. So if I were to add another cube here, like you can still see it. And then if you want it, okay, well, I know it's all the way down there, but you know, you can still see it. And then if this needs to be slightly thicker so you can't see it as well, you can just adjust this. I'm not a big fan of these ray traced lines, and I think the only reason it's doing that is because there's 6 faces that it's bouncing the light off of. I think if it was a plane, it would be a lot better. Let me actually test that. So if it's a plane, oops, that's not what I wanted. It would be exact. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, now I'm only getting one reflective surface here. I want to see if I can disable that as well, Because in real life, I don't think it would be... okay. Oh, well, that helps everything. You can just turn the transmission down to get less refractions. That's really good, actually. Okay, cool. So what I learned today, in order to make a transparent object, step 1, transmission is the amount of ray tracing. Number 1 has all of the reflections, almost like a mirror, and 0 is no reflections at all, perfectly clear. So you can adjust that at will. Next, roughness needs to be 0. I wonder what happens if you do turn it up though. Where did it go? Roughness. I guess this would be more like cloudy or whatnot, but I'm going to leave it at 0. Alpha actually adjusts the opacity of it, so 1 alpha would basically be a mirror. 0 alpha is perfectly clear. So to get a good one, I think between 1 and 8 probably is good. Next, in the settings, the blend mode needs to be alpha blend, and the shadow mode needs to be alpha clip. What happens if... okay, well, I don't know if that did anything, but there you go. Next, screen space refraction needs to be on. And then in the render settings, screen space reflections needs to be on, and refraction needs to be on. Great.